I have been using my Hobonichi Weeks layout that I created in OneNote for the last 2 months. And today I want to show you how that's been working for me. So if that sounds interesting, stay with me. Well, hi everyone, this is Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. And today I want to share with you how I am actually implementing or using the Hobonichi Weeks inspired design that I created as a weekly layout. If you would like to learn how I actually built this particular page template, there's a video for that. I will leave it linked for you up above and down in the description box so that you can go and check that out. But today what I want to focus on is how that layout has been working for me as a weekly page in my life planner for 2026. Okay? All right. Well, if that sounds interesting, please go ahead and give me a like. Hit that subscribe button. Please feel free to share this video with anybody that you think that would find it helpful. Hit the hype button, all of those things down below. Leave me a comment if you have ever used the Hobonichi Weeks paper version. I'd love to know what you thought about that. And with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the video today. I know that you guys want to see how it's been working for me. All right, well, here on my screen, you can see in this section right here, this is the Hobonichi Weeks layout that I created. It's very much, designed exactly like the paper planner that Hobonichi puts out. They have kind of 3 columns divided here. I went ahead and I've been using this first column here really for, things that have to be done on that day, designated either appointments that I have or must do items that I have. The middle section is kind of become a place where I kind of put the tasks that I'd like to get done during the day. And then the last one, the last column over here has been kind of for comments or notes or something that might relate to what I was doing that particular day, okay? As you can see on this first week, week 1, May 1st through the 5th, I have grayed out the 4 days at the top because May happened to start on a Friday. So I just went ahead and started there and grayed those other days out. The rest of the week is way back there in April, okay? All right. And then at the bottom, what I did is I put a little place. Now, the Hobonichi Weeks actually has a quote down there. I thought this would be a good place for me to write my priorities and the things that I really want to get done that week, the projects that I'm working on, those important things that I want to be able to remember. So that's what I ended up putting in that box down there instead of a quote, okay? Then on the right-hand side of the little, template that I created, I have my icons for all of my housework chores that need to get done. I don't have them assigned to specific days in this particular layout, but I do have my icons there to let me know, what needed to be done, and I highlight them or check them off here, as you can see, when I am finished with them, okay? And because it was only a 3-day week here, I didn't get a whole lot done, just usually my weekend chores, okay? All right, and then down at the bottom, I put a place for communications, who do I need to reach out to? And next to that, what errands and things do I need to buy? And then I have my little tiny calendar here, which I took from Google Calendars, and I show you in that video that I mentioned at the top about how I created this, also how I got these little Google Calendars to be something that I can use. I like the Google Calendars because they include the week number, and the Hobonichi Weeks always includes the week number. So that worked out pretty good for me, okay? Now, the rest of the notebook that you see here, this big black notebook that you see the Hobonichi Weeks didn't really fill that whole space. I didn't really need that much space. Well, for me, that's okay because that left me a lot of room that I could annotate what was happening, do a little, personal journaling or, memory keeping, that kind of thing. Okay. So for my husband and I's anniversary, we went to Staunton, Virginia, and we went to Stanton, Virginia. I always pronounce that wrong. We went to Stanton, Virginia, and we went to the American Shakespeare Theater there, and we saw two wonderful plays. One was The Hound of the Baskervilles, and the other was A Bold Stroke for a Husband. Now, the one thing about this Shakespeare Theater company is they do their plays in repertoire, which means they're doing 2 or 3 plays at the same time. So on the same day, this show was at 2 o'clock. This show was at 7:30. On the same day, the same cast members played different parts in different shows. How they can keep all of that, staging and dialogue and all that stuff in their head is amazing. I do not think they are paid, as much as they should be for all of the work that they do. When you compare professional actors like this, to professional baseball players or something like that, the amount of things that they have to do in one day is just amazing. Anyway, I digress. I will get off my soapbox, but I did have a wonderful time. If you're ever in the Stanton, Virginia area and you want to see a great show, I can tell you every show that I've ever seen there is fantastic. So check them out. Anyway, I was able to do some record keeping here about the shows that we saw, and I thought that was really fun. Okay. All right. Moving on to week 2. Week 2 was kind of fun. It was Mother's Day week. Our actual anniversary was during this week. So May is really just kind of a celebration month for us. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so you can see a little bit more about what is actually happening on the screen. Okay, so you can see here that I kind of have, things that I'm working on, different appointments, my normal Monday meeting, a council meeting that I had, things that I had to get done that day. I had to put the yard sale signs up that day. So these are filming I have to get done on a certain day. And then these other items in the second column are things that I would like to get done, if I have the time to do that, okay? So, and you see here, again, I'm just highlighting my little chores that I'm doing. My priorities down here, the yard sale for church is coming up. So that has become kind of my top priority. And I am working a little bit every day on that. Not only personally gathering things, decluttering and pricing them to get rid of, but, advertising and communicating with the community and, that kind of thing. Okay. All right. So again, more of the same: communications, errands to buy, my little calendar down here, and then some things that I did with my daughter. She's a little shy, so I've made her a little strawberry here. It is a family tradition for her and I to go strawberry picking. So we did. We got this huge flat, but you can see I have a coat on. It was really cold that day. It was like, in the just barely 50 degrees. But the strawberries were wonderful, as you can see here. And then after we go strawberry picking, we always go to IHOP for breakfast. So we did all of that this week as well. My husband and I went to a baseball game for our anniversary, actually our anniversary day. I know some of you may think that's strange, but I love baseball. And so we went and we had an absolutely great time. I got on dance cam on the big screen, which was fun. We got there early for happy hour and had a beer. We played bingo and I won a bobblehead, so that was kind of cool. My husband caught a foul ball. It was like all of the things that you could do at a baseball game all happened in one night, so that was really kind of fun. We had a great time doing that. Okay, so again, more of that journaling and memory keeping over here on the side. So far, I will say the Hobonichi Weeks is a very simplistic layout. which allows you the flexibility to make it your own and do what you want with it. You know, it's working okay for me. It's not as detailed as I like some things to be, and I'm trying not to add all these other little boxes and things in there. I'm really just trying to use it the way it is, and so far it's working pretty good. All right, let's move on to last week. Last week was busy. Last week, the focus for me last week was simply to clean the house and to entertain guests and to get a little filming done. I am somebody that likes to entertain back to back. So if I've, cleaned and gotten the house clean, I'd like to have people over a day or two apart, and I think that's always fun, All right, so let's start up here at the top. Again, you see, this is last week. So month 5, May 2026, then I added the title tasks here, just so I could kind of, keep that straight. So I had my normal Monday Methodist meeting. I made sure that I made the pulled pork to get it ready for, the events that were happening during the week. And it's starting to get warm out. So I added water the greenhouse here like every other day so that I can make sure that I'm going to check on that. That also means turn the fan on to keep that air circulating, okay? And I started adding in here my dinner plans. So right underneath the day, I went ahead and wrote spaghetti so that, we would know what we were having for dinner. And I went ahead and planned out the whole week by writing the dinner in there, okay? All right. Let's see. And then over here, you see I started journaling. Great day to plant, but I got carried away. Now I'm very tired, so I actually ended up hurting my back a little bit that day because I moved some heavy pots that I should not have moved. But that's okay. I'm feeling better now. Moving on down, I had the ladies over on Thursday, and we made some paper roses that were really pretty. That was our craft. And we made a book vase that was really pretty. I'll show you in just a second. And again, this was kind of the schedule for the day, and then a little bit of journaling about it. And then moving on, I'm trying to work my way, around my house, planting my annuals and things. Early in the week, I was back here on the deck, and then later in the week on Friday, I started working out front. So planting the front annuals, weeding and tending to the greenhouse, and then we went to run some errands. We ended up having cheese and crackers that night for dinner because we had a late lunch at Costco, and by the time we got home and it was dinner time, neither of us were really hungry. So we just had a couple cheese and crackers and we were good. All right. Then I had friends visit on Saturday as well. And that was really fun. We ended up spending the whole day biking and, went to the winery and played games and, just all kinds of fun stuff. And that's what I think life is really about. Okay. All right. So again, you see down here, my top priorities for the week were to clean the house, entertain guests, and to film. And then I still have my communications, not only who I'm checking in with, but I like to put a little reference there so I remember what I'm checking in with them about. Okay. And I have my errands listed there. And this was week 20. Okay. Now, if I move on over and you see some of my journaling, this is a picture I took as I was setting up for the ladies to come and we were going to make the paper roses. I had like my different stages pinned across the top and my samples here all ready to go. My trays stacked for each person so they each had, all their supplies. But little man, speak of the devil. Hi, you coming up? Come on, baby. Whoa, there you are. Say hi, little man. Little man decided to be the guest substitute teacher for that little event, and I thought he was cute sitting up there on my little table, so I took a picture of him. You want to sit over here while I film? Huh? That's a good boy. Okay. See if he settles down. I know. You like it when I film, don't you? That's why you have your own special table right next to my desk. Yeah. Anyway, So I thought that was cute, little craft day substitute teacher. And then when the ladies finished, I wanted to take some pictures of their, their finished projects. I think they did a really, really good job. And so that was kind of fun. And then I also have some pictures of where we went bike riding, and that was fun as well. It was just a beautiful day, nice and cool, and a great day to be out and about. Okay. All right. So I'm really liking this, journaling space over here. And that leads me to this week, which, as you can see, looks pretty blank. Why is that? Well, because it's Tuesday. And I start all of my weeks on Monday. And so Tuesday has started, and I have filled in some things, but not everything. It will fill up as the week progresses. So you see there, I still have, Monday, May and my task. And now it's the 21st week. Yesterday was Monday Methodist. We had chicken salad for dinner. It started getting hot yesterday. So I can add that in here. It hit 95 degrees yesterday. I am not used to the hot yet. I'm not used to that heat. Okay. So I can leave that in there. And again, if you want to make this look different, you can certainly change all of your scripts and fonts and sizes and all of that kind of thing to make it look however you want. So you see on here I have a variety of different fonts just to kind of show you guys that you can change those fonts and make it look however you want. Okay. This morning my two priorities for today were to film, which I'm doing now, and to open the pool. We have a 18-foot round blow-up pool in the back, and it has been covered. And today was the day to open the pool with all of the leaves and flowers and stuff that have fallen from the trees. All the pollen is done. So it is safe to open the pool, and it will stay relatively clean. So we did that today. I had to get the ladder out and the floats and the towels and, all the stuff that goes along with having a backyard pool. Okay. And I made myself a note that I stored the pool cover in the basement because sometimes I forget these things, okay? And already this week I have tended to my plants, I have made some calls, and I have taken care of the car, okay? All right, so then I just have some other things during the week that are going to be coming up, and I have my dinner plans there, and I have my priorities for the week, which is to open the pool. The heat is on, and still working on that yard sale project, okay? For communications, I did this already. I thought to myself yesterday, I need to reschedule game day, family game day. I sent that text already, so I'm going to check that off. And then errands and to buy things. I needed cat litter, and I'm getting a little snackle box for a friend. So I went ahead and put the Target order in for those two items, and I will pick them up or have my daughter pick them up tonight or tomorrow. And then I have to get some snacks for a friend, gluten-free snacks for a friend. But I have not done that yet, so I'm not going to check that off. Okay. And then you see on the rest of the page, I really don't have any other annotations here because it's just the second day of the week. By the time you guys see this video on Friday, this particular page will look much, much fuller. Okay. All right, well, I just wanted you to take a quick look and see how I'm using the Hobonichi Weeks inspired layout that I created for my weeks. I want to go ahead and show you how I can do some pre-planning for the week coming up. So next week will be the last week in May, and you can see here, I have things in there that I normally do, my regular Monday meeting. It is also Memorial Day, so I went ahead and pre-planned that. I do usually film on Tuesday, so I went ahead and put that in, but it is near the end of the month, so I do have to pay bills, so I left that, put that in there. And then on down here, we have our yard sale at church, and it is from 9 to 1, okay? So I went ahead and started those kinds of things. Now, there is another note that I want to add here for myself, and I'm going to put that down here under priorities. and that will be yard sale advertising. I like to advertise the week of the yard sale, like on Facebook. You know, I have an event set up and a lot of our followers are on Facebook. So I advertise that and I start taking pictures of things that people are donating so that it creates a little bit of interest about things that they might see at the yard sale. So you see yard sale advertising. I'll go ahead and put that there as a priority, and I will even give it one of my tags. So it is a church task. And that way, when I start looking at this week, I'll go right away and remember, oh yes, I'm supposed to do that. Okay. All right. So I like having these weeks set up ahead of time so that I can do a little bit of pre-planning if I want to or if I need to. And that really is helpful to me. All right. Well, as you can see, I've been using my Hobonichi Weeks inspired layouts in my OneNote planner, and I really like them. They're nice, they're quick, they're easy. There's not a whole lot of prep to them because, you know, you could really use those columns over here for anything that you want. I just happen to decide to do appointments and must-dos, tasks that I want to get done, and then some kind of note-taking. But you can use them however you want. In fact, if you have used a Hobonichi before, leave me a comment and let me know how you divided up the space and what you found the most helpful. Okay? All right. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. I really, really do appreciate it. And here's hoping that you can live a more simplified and organized life through better planning. I use OneNote. Until next time, okay, bye. Stay cool, everybody.